right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Again, my name is Ura Patterson, and I'm here with Astonishing Vibes again. And I have a great guest with us today. I have Mr. Bernard Scott, actually author Mr. Bernard Scott. And just want to introduce you to him. Mr. Scott, how you doing today, man?
I'm great. Great.
All right.
Blessed and highly favored.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Well, man, it's a good day to have you on with Astonishing Vibes today. We always like to highlight people that are doing great things in the community, and we also want to highlight people that actually that made significant changes in their life and that are doing great things. So again, today we're just thankful to have you on our podcast today, and actually we're going to put you on our YouTube with us today too. So man, I really appreciate you reaching out to us. If y'all don't know, Mr. Scott actually, pulled me to the side, man, and the Spirit of God just said, hey, can I ask you a question, man? And it was just amazing how Mr. Scott came and talked to me about it, and it was just so that God wanted us to get together. So we're going to go in on Mr. Scott's story and get him to share his life story, because it's going to help some people, man. When we were just talking on the side, he shared some things with me that actually brought me back to when my father was living at one point. And but I'm gonna let Mr. Scott share his story, so we'll get on into it. So, Mr. Scott, man, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, my name is Bernard Scott. I am from Franklin, Louisiana, born and raised. Was raised by a great mother that instilled a lot of godly principles in my life, which I strayed from, and having strayed from it, in 1986, my mother passed. And upon losing my mother, I felt like I had no reason whatsoever to live. So I ventured into, after seeing a documentary by Mike Wallace, 48 Hours on Crack Street, how the crack epidemic at its first beginning began to kill people. I mean, people were instantly dying on one hit, and mine not wanting to live, feeling like I could not go on in life without my mother. I began to use crack cocaine.
Okay.
But instead of it killing me, I became addicted to it. And for years and years and years, I'm taking hits to actually take myself out. But then, in 2014, after beginning my crack addiction in 87, and after beginning my crack addiction in 87, for years up until 2014, through all that I went through, I realized that God had a bigger plan for my life, which was actually the reason why the crack cocaine didn't kill me, but through the experience I had, God really, really was with me.
Yeah.
And in 2014, the Saturday before Thanksgiving, I had an out-of-body experience where in my addiction, as bad off as I was living and looking and not taking care of myself, God allowed me to go outside of my body and look at myself in the condition I was in, and as well show me the things that my upbringing, that my mother instilled in me, as well as the life that I can be living apart from being addicted to crack cocaine.
Yeah, let me cut you short for a minute, but I just want to share with our viewers and those who are listening, if you don't really truly understand when you are going about your life, but then God decides that there's something that He wants to do with your life, you really wouldn't understand what Mr. Scott is saying right now. But I can tell you about many times I have encountered people that made attempts to kill themselves, or they attempted to maybe even kill somebody else, but God had a different plan. And when Mr. Scott is talking about an out-of-body experience, my pastor, himself, Bishop John Baines, he could tell you, when God have you to have an out of body experience, it's like no other. And it's a truthful thing. Some people may think, hey, out of body experience, this person is talking, this person, they probably was high or whatever it may be. But I can tell you this, to have an out of body experience is a graceful thing to have when God takes you to show you what he's looking at, to try to correct you. Not necessarily try, but to correct you, to let you know how much he loves you. Because I'm going to show you what I'm looking at. And I'm going to tell you how much I love you. But I'm sorry, Mr. Scott, go ahead.
Okay, so in this out-of-body experience, I had this thing about smoking crack constantly on the move, which I felt better about smoking crack when I was outside in open space. I could not smoke crack in closed-in places, because it would have me so paranoid. I felt better, if I was smoking, moving around, walking around, and in the process of me walking around, taking that hit, it wouldn't be hard to find me dead, okay?
Okay.
So, as I'm walking and using this crack cocaine, God allowed me to go outside of myself where I can see myself the way other people were viewing me. And when I seen the condition I was in, all I could do was question myself as to, is this what I'm choosing? Yeah. It's like the power of choice kicked in, and it's like, this is what I'm doing to myself.
Right. Right.
I'm not going to die because, the word completely assured me that you should not die but live and declare the works of the Lord. And I got a lot that I can say, I can witness to, as far as God really being who he says he is in his word, because he protected me. He kept me, God kept me alive.
Yeah.
Because according to that documentary, the crack cocaine was killing people instantly. And that was my motive for smoking crack cocaine. So after having that out-of-body experience, I had a friend of mine that was going to bring his auntie back from Louisiana after the Thanksgiving holiday to come back to Houston, and he asked me if I would ride with him to bring her back. And I told him, I said, B, if I go to Houston, I ain't coming back.
Yeah.
So we put together a plan so that once I got to Houston, I was able to go straight into the Salvation Army. And going into the Salvation Army, I got into the Salvation Army Harbor Light program for a 90-day program. And after a month and a half, it dawned on me, 90 days, what 90 days going to do for me when I've spent all these years in a crack addiction versus get into a longer version of the program, which will help me to get my thinking processing in order. Because overall, my whole issue was in my thinking. My thinking that I couldn't live without my mother. My thinking that I would smoke crack and it would instantly kill me.
Yeah.
My thinking that God didn't have a plan for my life. So going into the Salvation Army, getting into the 1-year program, I began to really, really get in touch with God's plan for my life. Mm-hmm. And not only get in touch with God's plan for my life, I began to want to really, really live. And all of the experience I've had in my past, I believe is my foundation to not only have overcome the crack addiction, but to also help other people in their struggle, in their journey.
Yeah, because one of the things is some people may feel like, how can you tell me something you ain't been where I've been? And that's the thing that people deal with out there in the world. Like, they'd be like, oh, you came from that side of the track. You ain't never been on this side of the track. You don't know what smoking crack feel like. You don't know how it takes, how hard it is to get off of it. But for you to be a person that's been in that situation before, God can actually use you to where people can see you from the outer body experience, so they can see you and they can relate to you more than they can relate to the man that had never even tasted or had never even smelt it. So when God is talking to us, or when God is using us, it's for us to go out there and compel the people. And how can you compel them if you don't know them? See, I don't know what a person that's smoking crack feels like, or what they're thinking, or what drives them to go and smoke the crack. But you, on the other hand, you have some type of idea of what may have drove them. But definitely you have that experience of what they may be feeling. And what I want you to do is, tell us a little bit about that program that you went in Salvation Army that actually helped transition you into becoming the man that you are today. And this is not really to highlight the Salvation Army, but they were a big part in your life along with God on that structure of going the right way. So, tell us a little bit about that, man.
Okay, as I said, I got into the 90-day program, and in the 90-day program, I was allowed to work in the kitchen. And after about a month and a half working in the kitchen, I'm standing up there, and it's like, it dawned on me, more or less when I say dawn, it's like, I question myself as to what 90 days going to do. How am I going to be renewed in my thinking within 90 days? Yeah. I need more time than 90 days. So I got out of the 90-day program and got into the one-year program, which put me into the Harbor Light Choir, which meant that in this program, I had to attend classes. I had to attend different groups that help expose, the addiction that I had and my part in the addiction. And it actually taught me how to be a better man, how to take responsibilities for my actions. A lot of times we may put the blame on other people when it's totally our own doing that we end up in situations that, I truly, truly, truly am grateful to have went through that Harbor Light program, because without that program, I wouldn't have had the structure,
and
the support that I needed, because, when you have been on crack cocaine, it turns you completely into a uncivilized human being, which makes people shun you. People don't want to deal with you. It makes you dangerous. I went through a lot of things that, having the support of the Salvation Army and not having the trust from my family, people that knew me, that Salvation Army program really, really helped me to walk out of there as a man. Yeah. So today, I can actually say I am 58 years old, but in reality, I'm only a 5-year-old man. I actually made the transition from out of boyhood into manhood at 53 years old the day I stepped into that Salvation Army.
Yeah, and one thing that he talked about that some people fail to do is accountability. That program helped him understand to accept accountability for his life and the decisions that he had made. Everything that we do in life is on a decision that we make, and it comes, everything falls in after that decision. So if you look at that decision of when he said, hey man, what a 90-day program gonna do for me? I need to enroll myself in this yearly program. That was a decision that he decided to make. Then he made a decision to accept accountability and not start blaming it on other people around him and blame his situation. It was my decision. I made the decision, and now he is here today wanting to share his story to encourage another person that may be in his situation, or another person. And if you go back to the beginning, why did he want to do it in the first place? He wanted to end his life. So another person that may want to end their life, hey, make that decision and say, hey, no, I want to live. And the thing about it is, God gave him that chance, and God is a God of another chance and another chance. A lot of people say he's a God of a second chance, but it's another. You just don't know how many chances you have had in life to where we say second chances, but nah, God is another after another after another. Infinity chances. Now, this is what I want to say though. Let's go highlight on what he has accomplished now, because I really want you all to hear these accomplishments that he has had ever since he had made this transition 5 years ago. So share us a little bit on your accomplishments.
Okay, I was in a 1-year program, which I had to actually complete a year of being in that program before I was allowed to go any further into an extensive period in the program, which was the work program. After 1 year graduating the program, you go into you go into a work program, which helps you set a foundation to get out and take responsibilities, as far as getting yourself a place to live, getting a job, doing the things that men should do. Okay, so within this time, within a year, just say 9 months after being there, and working the program, because the program would not have worked if I would not have worked that program.
Gotcha.
Okay, I mean, I had to devote myself to the classes. I had to do the homework. I had to do everything that these people set before me to do. And because I poured my heart into doing those things, 9 months I was allowed to go out to a job which was uncommon for that program.
Yeah.
Okay? And the job I was going out 10 o'clock at night when 10:30 was bed check. Okay? Going to the Toyota Center to clean up suites after events. Okay, I'd come in like 4, 5, 6 a.m. in the morning after leaving out at 10:30 p.m. And it was never once I was tested as though I had been out doing drugs or was out drinking or anything, because of the dedication and the devotion I made into becoming a better man and taking advantage of what that program was offering me.
Man.
So I was allowed to get a job before my 1 year was up. And then after my 1 year was up, I still was allowed to stay there because I refused getting housing. I told the director of the Salvation Army, Mr. Bourne, I did not come here with a tent.
Yeah.
I'm not here to stay. I'm here to man up. I'm here to do what I need to do. I can't sit to the breakfast table. I can't sit to the lunch table. I can't sit to the dinner table and accept what the Salvation Army is doing for me when I know I am a man. I should be doing all these things for myself. Yes. I should not have to have a bed that I'm assigned to. When I'm a man, should be out on the job working and making an income so that I can take care of myself.
Right.
So I put my heart into getting a job, saving money, getting out, paying for my apartment, doing the things that a man should do.
Yes.
And when I laid that out to Mr. Bourne, he respected, the wishes I had, because so many guys got housing.
Yeah.
Which, when you get housing, you don't have to pay rent. You don't have to have a job. You can get housing, food stamps, and qualify for this, that, and the other, where you can live a carefree life. Which I felt like if I did not take responsibilities for my own actions, it would have made me susceptible to go back to the crack cocaine lifestyle.
Man,
because although it did not kill me, I enjoyed getting high.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the risk that I took to get money to do crack cocaine.
Yeah.
Because overall, I never experienced a drug so devastating.
Yeah.
That, when it came down to you wanting it, the extreme that you would go to get it.
Yeah.
So today I can truly say that, I am so grateful to God for the deliverance from that addiction.
God is
And
so good.
it didn't kill me.
Man, God is so good. Hey, tell us about this book you written, man.
Okay, I am a first-time author, and the title of my book is Unsolacing Voices from the Heart of a Man, Person to Person, which is 21 devotional, inspirational poems that really God gave me. He inspired me to write, which helped me through my journey.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of it I wrote while I was going through what I was going through. It's like, to me, as I read the poems that's in this book, to me it's like it's prophetic.
Yeah.
Because now I see a lot of the manifestations of those things that I was writing in that book.
Man, God will use you, man. God will use you, man. Give us the name of that book one more time. That way our viewers and our listeners can actually get that.
Unsolacing Voices from the Heart of a Man, Person to Person. My name is Bernard Scott, but my writer's name is Benny Payne.
Benny Payne.
Yes.
All right, Benny Payne. All right.
And it can be found on Amazon.com.
It can be found on Amazon.com. I just want to encourage our listeners and viewers to make sure you go out and get that book. Support Mr. Bernard Scott. Want to make sure that you get that book so that you can actually read those poems yourself. Some of those things, I know they're going to be encouraging because I have seen Mr. Scott, man. I've seen him work out, man, and stay in shape. I try to hang with him running around here, and I just keep walking, but he be jogging through here, man, and I just tell my wife, I'm going to pay some. But definitely, Mr. Scott, I really appreciate you sharing with our listeners and our viewers your story and what you have overcame and what God has done for you, man. It's been a blessing, to just sit here and listen to your story and understand where you've been and where you are now. I can truly say God is amazing. And like I said, Astonishing Vibes, people out there, I'm telling you, there are a lot of people doing astonishing things, new things. You just never know where they came from. So again, we want to thank you for sharing your story with us, man.
And as well, I would like to thank you for allowing me to share my story.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Well, we're going to be out. I want to thank you all again. You all bless you and have a great day. Bye-bye.